All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. It's at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below, as usual. This one's entitled Fantasy Manhood. Um, for all the guys out here who were told what manhood was and they still was figuring it out, and sometimes you're living as an adult and you're supposed to be grown and you're still doing childish things and you don't know they're childish because you were told that this is how men are and this is how men operate. So we're gonna cut to the chase on some of this stuff. The first thing is first, being hyper masculine. That's not manly. You know, when you're young, you don't want to take you don't take shit off of people and you're ready to fight and prove your manhood by trying to beat up somebody, hurt somebody. Some people take it too far, shooting somebody or whatever, right? Because that's what they think manhood is. It's not. You know, what that is you being confused about masculinity. Because normally, the people who tell you to be a man and do this stuff don't tell you the consequences and costs that go with it. They don't tell you, the same things that you do that are out of line or hyper masculine or the damage that it causes. You don't want that to befall on you or your family or your friends. You know, you look down on a person who would do um, violent, immature things for for an unjust cause or an unrighteous cause or just petty or childish cause. So when you well, he did this or they did that and this is why I feel like I should have did that. Well, sometimes you got to analyze the situation and ask yourself, am I being a man right now, or am I throwing a temper tantrum and hiding under believing that I'm a man right now? And that's two different things. Um, so sometimes you just gotta watch that. You gotta watch that. Responsibility. Sometimes people are in a fantasy responsibility. Well, I'm gonna get to financial, but it's gonna be part of this also. Um, when you're a kid, they teach you to do your chores, and all they're telling you to do is grow into responsibility. Learn how to take out the trash. Learn how to wash the dishes. Learn how to clean your room. Learn how to wash your own clothes. Learn how to cut the grass. Learn how to iron your clothes. Learn how to cook and clean up behind yourself. You know what I'm saying? Learn manners and etiquette in public and private, because you're gonna need all of those things to be responsible for yourself as an adult, and to also be a functional, productive member of society and a respectful person and a person that people want to be around. But the fantasy of it is, if you make money, you don't have to do all those things. You can pay somebody to do this, pay somebody to do that. And you got people skipping vital steps in life that they don't realize is going to cost them in the long run. Because people aren't teaching you to take out the trash per se, or clean your room. What they're teaching you is to be hands-on with your responsibilities, handling your business. Because the minute you give your responsibilities to somebody else and you pay them to handle your responsibilities, you're also susceptible and will be liable for whatever consequences befall you, because you shouldn't trust other people with your business in general. You know, you shouldn't trust somebody to come take out your trash because it ain't their house, it ain't their trash, it's not their routine. So they might do it, they might not. And this goes to the same part when it comes to relationships, child raising, marriage, friendships, you got to be down, you got to be loyal, and there comes a point where you got to be honest too. You really got to be honest about are you truly responsible? Because sometimes people think being irresponsible, you can still be irresponsible and be a man, and that is so completely untrue. You know, you have to be dependable. I don't care if people think dependable is boring. I don't care if dependable doesn't get women's panties wet. Doesn't matter. Dependable gets you where you need to go. Dependable keeps your lights on. Dependable keeps food in your stomach. Dependable keeps clothes on your back. Dependable keeps um, money coming into your bank account. And dependable knows how to manage that money properly to make it grow. That's what dependable does. You know what I mean? So, to be responsible, that's a necessity of manhood. But sometimes the fantasy is you could just be reckless, and you can't. All that reckless behavior is gonna cost you something. And it's gonna cost you way more than it provides. The other thing, sexuality. People think, oh, if I have sex with a lot of different women, that makes me a man. No, that just means you had sex with a lot of different women. You shouldn't believe that the amount of women you slept with somehow makes you more manly. Don't work that way. It really don't. Because the same people that slept with hordes of people are sometimes the same people complaining about all of the negative consequences of dealing with hordes of different women. Some people shouldn't complain about being divorced and their wife leaving them, or being on child support for multiple kids, or having an STD, or being broke because they went out trying to be a player and they didn't spend too much of their money, and now these gold diggers out here. See, that's the flip side of the fantasy of masculinity and being a man, when you're not really talking about what you're losing trying to play this game. Because I had sex with 30,000 chicks. Good. Happy for you. Great. Whatever. Now what? Now what? What is your point now? And a lot of people can't get by that. Maybe I get more coochie than you. And your point? One of the fantasies about manhood is either is morality. Some people think that being cunning is just as manly as having integrity or good character. It's not. Just because, even if you were to get ahead by getting over and being slick, even if that made you more money than doing things an honest way, that's not being a man. And a lot of times people come to find this out when they deal with people who are maybe in a higher position, maybe a higher status, may have more money, and they run up against somebody who's not on that level, and they get checked. Because, man make the money, money never made the man. And that the same thing goes for character, intelligence, and the way people perceive you. It's the man, that people are going to respect, ultimately. Because you don't want people to go around respecting your accomplishments without respecting you. Respecting the money you made without respecting you. Respecting the car you drive, but don't respect you, the person who drives it. You're not gonna want that. And I think ultimately, the fantasy about masculinity and money has to be said. You have to be able to be a provider. That's very true. But don't get it twisted. Don't think if you fall off you're no longer a man. You're still a man. You're just a man in hard times. Men get down. Some men get depressed because they fall on hard times. But the real motherfuckers gonna be 100 with you and tell you that they gonna pick themselves back up. You're gonna get up and things gonna work themselves out and it be smooth again. That's how the shit go. So ultimately, that's what it is. Um, so don't get caught up in the fantasy and don't get caught up in the hype. And you know, evolve because men actually evolve. We grow every day. There is no, oh, I'm 21, I'm a man. I'm 25, I'm a man. I'm 30. No, you're a constant work. You're constant work in progress. And if you ever think you got it mastered and down pat, that's where you're gonna be stuck because that means that you're never gonna grow farther than that. You're never gonna evolve. You're never gonna be a better man. So, just my opinion on this one. I'm out.